Okay, you're going to learn about a certain formula today. It doesn't need to be memorized. It's like a compound interest formula. Okay. Your parents put $14,000 in a bank account when you were born. The account is a 10-year certificate of deposit that earns compounded quarterly interest. And at the end of the time, it's going to be worth $23,011. Calculate the interest rate of the deposit. Now, with this, you're not going to set up the little boxes. You need to just know your compound formula. It is the principal, that's the old amount that you put in, times, and it's going to be 1 because that's like 100%, plus the rate. But the rate's going to be divided by the frequency, and in quarterly, frequency is 4, okay? And then the power is going to be a product of your frequency, which is 4, and the number of years I should put. And then that's going to equal your new amount. Okay, so what I do here is I say, okay, what's the beginning amount? I should, instead of principal, just think of it as the beginning. Okay, beginning. So the beginning amount is $14,000. I need to collect my thoughts here. Okay, so 14,000. And then you need to make a parentheses with a 1. And then you're going to add a fraction. Your rate is, I don't know my rate, so that needs to be P. If I don't know the percent, that's what I don't know. Okay, the frequency. That quarterly is always a frequency of 4. That means they put the interest on your account at 4 times a year. And there's going to be a power out here, and the power is going to be the product of the frequency, which is 4, and the years, which we know is 10. So 4 times 10. And that's my new amount. My new amount is $23,011. So anytime you come across something, you got to say, do I know it? So I need to simplify where possible. 4 times 10 is 40. Parentheses, we can't simplify with that P in there. If that was an actual number, I could divide and add 1, but it's not. Okay, so I can't simplify. Okay, so let's talk about the one thing we don't know, the P. Well, that's your percentage. Is P a power? No, the power's 40. But is P in a parentheses? Yeah, it is. So you need to replace that with your Q. And then down here, I want you to make a little box so you remember that you have more work to do after you solve for Q. So you put 1 plus P divided by 4 equals whatever. So I've got Q, 14,000. It's going to be to the 40th power equals $23,011. So as you know, we divide by our multiplier first. Don't subtract that. That number in the front's a multiplier. So I've got Q to the 40th. 23,011 divided by 14,000 gives me 1.64. Now we're going to take the 40th root to cancel a 40th power. Okay. This can be found by taking 1.64 to the power of 1/40th, or entering a 40, hitting the second key, hitting the caret button, the V, and 1.64. I got 1.01. Okay. Now we put the 1.01 down here, and first I need to minus the 1. So P over 4 equals 0.01. And then I multiply these two together. Okay. So 4 times 0.01 is 0.04. So that's 4%. Okay. But I don't think that's one of them that you're going to have. Okay, I think you will know what the P is. You deposit $2,200 in a bank account that earns 3% interest compounded quarterly. Find how long it will take the account to be worth $3,000. Okay, so my beginning amount is the deposit, $2,200. And again, that's a dead giveaway. I'm using this formula. And then 1 plus my rate, I know, okay? So I know my rate is 0.03 or 0.03, whatever you want to put. And then the frequency is 4, okay? And then my power, the frequency is 4. The number of years I have, I don't know that, okay? So when I don't know the years, I need to put X, okay? Equals the new amount. I know the new amount's $3,000. All right. Now simplify. You can't simplify your exponent, but what you can do is simplify your parentheses. You can take 0.03 divided by 4 plus 1. Okay, just like that. You can divide and add 1. So I now have 2,200 times 1.0075 to the 4x power equals 3,000. Again, I turn this into this by dividing and adding 1. Okay, so I need to solve for the x, which is the years. Now, is x a power? Darn right it is. You need to circle the 4x and its base and split it. Okay? So we are going to be using log over log. But before I can do that, and the exponent's 4x, by the way, you can put that. I need to divide by my 2,200. I can't have 2,200 sitting there. So you have to be cognizant of that. So 1.0075 to the 4x power. And I take 3,000 divided by 2,200, and that's 1.36. So now I know what my base is clearly. I know what that's equal to clearly, and I go from there. So we will have to divide by 4 after we do the log over log. So log 1.36 divided by log 1.0075. I get 41, but that needs to be divided then by 4. $10.25. Actually, I'm not going to give an assignment here. I'll do all the problems in this. Make sure you're following along. Okay, you deposit $2,500 in an account that pays 3% interest compound quarterly. Find the balance in the account after 5 years. Okay, so my beginning amount is $2,500. 1 plus my rate, which is 3%, so 0.03. That has a frequency of 4 times per year. And the power is the product of my frequency and the number of years, which is 5. Okay, I don't know my new amount. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So when I don't know my new amount, so when I didn't know the percent, I put a P. When I didn't know the years, I had to put an X there. But when I don't know the new amount, I'm just going to put a Y, and that makes this pretty easy when it's just a Y. I can simplify that to 20. I can divide, find the quotient there, and add 1. So 1.0075, so I got 2,500 times 1.0075 to the 20th power. And I can multiply that 2,500 times 1.0075 to the power of 20, $2,903. Okay, you deposit $700 in an account that pays 2% interest compounded quarterly. How many years will it take for the account to be worth $1,000? So So again, I deposit 700, and then 1 plus your rate, your 0.02 divided by the frequency of quarterly, which is 4 times in a year. Then my power is my quarterly, 4 times in a year, times the years. I don't know the years, so that's X, okay? And then my account winds up being worth $7,000. Now you need to simplify where possible, okay? And you can't do the exponent, but you can simplify your parentheses. You can take 0.02 divided by 4, and then add the 1 on, okay? So 700 times 1.005 to the 4x power. Now, x, what is x? It's a power, so you need to circle the power and its base together and then split them. So we know what we need to do is set 4x equal to the log over log, but I can't do that until I divide by the 700. If you have a multiplier sitting out, or if you had a plus or minus sitting out here, you'd have to subtract. You're not going to, but I'm just saying. So 1.005 to the 4x power. 1,000 divided by 700 is 1.43. And now I can do my log over log because I have a clarified base of 1.005. And then my equals is 1.43. So I take log 1.43 divided by the log of 1.005, and that's going to be 71.72. So 4x equals 72, and then I can divide by 4, and 72 divided by 4 is 18, so 18 years. Okay, last one, number 2. You deposit $100 in an account that pays 6% annual interest, compound quarterly. Find how much the account is worth after 4 years. Okay, so again, what I'm going to do is my compound formula. So 100, 1 plus, my rate's 6%, so 0.06 divided by the frequency, which we know is 4. And then exponents, by the way, this number always going to be 4, but that needs to be multiplied by your years, which is 4. And our new amount we don't know because that's the answer, so we want to use y there. Okay, we know that's 16. It's going to be a power of 16. We can also simplify our parentheses factor. 0.06 divided by 4 plus 1 is 1.015. So I have 100 times 1.015 to the 16th power is y. And what's y? It's just by itself, so I punch in what the other side of the equation is equal to, where all the numbers are at, and solve it. $127. Okay, that's really all I have to say on that. Hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.